Hi there, it's Carl Irwin, the Common Magician, and it's another video. This is a trick that I do. So I'm showing you tricks that I actually do. These are not theoretical constructions. These are just tricks that I actually will perform for people with some regularity, kind of real world sort of things that I know are surefire, that I know will come across well, the things that I've added into my repertoire that I am comfortable with, that I like to perform for people. So this one is a trick using a coin. I don't think we'll talk about in a minute here whether or not this is a coin trick. It's more so a trick with a coin. And it works kind of like this. You take a coin and a handkerchief, and I'm being honest here, this is the kind of this is exactly what I would use. I would stick a bandana. I have these thin bandanas, a couple different colors. I'd stick one in my back pocket. If I knew that there'd be a potential for me to do this kind of a trick, I would carry this around with me and I would have it. This could also be done with a napkin, if you're careful, or with a cloth kind of napkin at a restaurant. Works well for this as well. So I have the coin sitting in my hand, and I also have the handkerchief over top of it. You can see it sitting right there in the middle. And what we're going to do is we're going to wind this in, locking it into place so that it has no means of escape. You can see that it's in there. I'm going to hold on to this with my hand. And then what I want you to do is I would have spectators, a couple spectators either using two hands on either side, or more people taking one of each of these corners of the handkerchief. So they'd take a corner over here and they would pull and stretch on these. Very difficult to show because I'm by myself here, but we'll try to separate these corners. And they would each pull on their respective corner very slowly. And as they do this, they would see that the coin appears to melt right through the middle of the handkerchief, and it ends up in my hand. So that is how I would really perform it. I'm being honest. This is how I would do it. Just the handkerchief, just the coin. This is not the ideal way to do this, though. If I was preparing, if I had to do some kind of a walk-around sort of thing, which I never do, that's just not the kind of magician that I am. I'm an everyday kind of guy that works with people I run into in everyday situations. I don't gig. I don't do anything like that. But if I did do it as a gig, I would do it in the more parlor kind of magic, close-up magic way. That would be with a ring, a silk handkerchief, and a coin. Again, common magician, I would prefer to use something that is realistic, that I would carry rather than carry around a silk handkerchief. I know you could probably really dog on me for carrying a Morgan dollar replica. I like the size of this, so you know, maybe I can't justify everything that I have, but I'm more likely to carry this than to try to carry around a silk handkerchief. It just seems a little more natural in the moment to me. But the better way of doing this, obviously, is the with a silk handkerchief, and same kind of thing. You have it there inside of the handkerchief. You show it. And then what you would do is you would give it a couple of winds inside of the handkerchief, and then you would put the corners of the handkerchief through the coin. So all four corners through the coin. And then you would have the spectators take these corners, and then you would do the exact same thing. So you have the coin locked in place with the ring. And then, of course, as they pull the corners apart, the coin melts essentially through the handkerchief and the ring falls on top of it. Much better presentation, I think, with the ring. I would really prefer to do it that way, but I don't. I just don't, because I don't carry these objects with me. I just keep the coin in the handkerchief. So, trick that I do. The handling, first of all, sourcing. I'm not sure where this originates from. It's in an awful lot of books on coin magic. I prefer to use the David Roth kind of teaching on this, where he teaches a particular handling. Again, not really getting into method, but if you know, you know, where the coin is sitting there and there's this little move like that, and it gives this sort of appearance. A little bit of flashing there, right there on the camera. But I prefer this handling, just to tip you off. If you want to look that up, find Coin Magic by David Roth. Anywhere where he does this, he'll explain that. in his teaching. So, trick that I do. That is coin, a trick with a coin. A bit on that. Coin magicians, I think, like to make a distinction between coin tricks and tricks using coins. This is more of the latter. This is a trick that uses a coin as a prop in the trick. It's not really so much of a coin trick in the sense that magicians like to differentiate between tricks with coins that use sleights, right? Coin sleights and coin kind of moves. And they like to call that coin magic. This is more so, this really could be any object. Right, it doesn't have to be coin. It's just coin is most suited to the kind of natural workings of it. But it really could be a lot of other things you could put in there. It could be, you know, a die or something like that. Any kind of small object, you really could do the same kind of thing with it. Coin is just very convenient for that. On the subject of distinctions that magicians make, check out the other video I have up there on the sacredness of Acon, and a little bit of a spat we're having about my version of any card at any number, my go-to version that I put up here as a trick that I do, and some issues that were taken with it. Yeah. So anyway, magicians have very strong feelings about things, and coin magic versus a trick with a coin is one of those that you'll run into with magicians every now and then. But spectators don't know the difference and they don't care. So it is a coin trick to them. And I often will do it with, in association, maybe with another coin trick, which we'll get to some other video. I'll show you some of the coin magic that I do regularly for spectators. So anyway, that's it. Good luck with that. Happy magicking.